Hey nerds, what's up? Jazmine of PrettyBrown&Nerdy here, and this past weekend Spider-Man Homecoming finally was released, and I saw the movie last Friday, and I really wanted to share my opinions of the movie with you guys. Just to start off by saying this review might contain possible spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, please go ahead and swing on out of this video for me, okay? Get it? Swing on out of this video? No? Okay. Spider-Man Homecoming pretty much centers around Peter returning from his exciting adventure with the Avengers. It takes place after Civil War. He's kind of still getting off of the hype, trying to return to normal life with his aunt, trying to return to normal life at school. He really wants to prove himself to Tony Stark, prove that he can become an Avenger, dealing with teen, boy drama. He's really trying to skim his way between the two, while also trying to utilize his newfound power as Spider-Man and battle the villainous Vulture that has come to the city. I would like to start out this review by first saying thank you so much for this not being an origin story. We all know how Uncle Ben dies, we know how Peter becomes Spider-Man. Not being an origin story, they find little ways to put in the origin story through dialogue, and they just ultimately trust the audience to just get it. I also love how it wasn't your typical we have to save the world, save mankind kind of superhero movie. It was just a real lighthearted and fun film exploring, the troubles of life as a teenage boy, through high school, being, a nerdy kid who's not exactly super popular, becoming Spider-Man and learning how to utilize his power as Spider-Man while getting through the woes of life. It was literally a slice of life superhero film. Throwing an anime term in there, but that's the best way I know how to describe it. I really love the dynamic between Tony Stark and Peter Parker. Tony, he's still a little riled up from what's happened in Civil War, so he honestly just really wants to be there for Peter. Peter's a smart kid, has a great life ahead of him. He's a good kid, and Tony genuinely feels that way about Peter. He also wants to help mentor him and help him learn how to use his new power as Spider-Man. He throws in a lot of tough love, what he considers tough love, which really just comes off as, a little too much at times, typical Tony Stark. But ultimately, he really just wants to be a good person in Peter's life. Peter also idolizes Tony. He's been a big fan of Tony Stark. He just wants to prove that he can do this and be an Avenger while not always doing things right, kind of slipping up at times, but it's okay. He's learning. Michael Keaton, Vulture, hands down, one of my favorite top villains of the Spider-Man franchise now, other than Dr. Octopus. I really loved how compelling the Vulture was as a villain. A lot of people were a little skeptical about, how the villain would be in this movie, but honestly, they did Vulture so well. You also understand him in a way, and you kind of sympathize with the villain in a way, but also acknowledge that what he's doing is not good, even though he thinks of himself to be a good character and genuinely helping the little guys out. I definitely adore the plot twist of the movie. That was something that was really unexpected, and it was really well done. The cast in this movie was so diverse, and that was something that I was surprised to see. It's not often that you see a woman of color as the love interest who's smart, funny, witty. I really enjoyed that they gave us that. It's not something that you see with superhero films either, so that was something I really enjoyed. Zanslaya, like Zendaya girl, like Michelle was my girl throughout that entire movie. She had these funny one-liners that were just so hilarious to me and totally captivated me as an audience member watching the film. She would say things that I wouldn't even expect to be in a movie like this at all. Ned as the sidekick, the dynamic between Ned and Peter is so awesome. Usually you don't have it to where the friends or anyone find out the identity of the superhero, but I like that they did this in this film. I feel like it would have had the film go in another direction had they not. The way that they were able to do this and have Ned as like the witty, you know, cute, awkward, adorable sidekick was hilarious to me. And I love that they had brown Asians in this film. They had other people of color all over this film. It really captured the essence of New York for me, because in previous Spider-Man films, they just had a bunch of white people in New York. And you know you don't see a bunch of white people up in Brooklyn and Queens now, come on. So the fact that they had so many people of color as background characters, as main characters, that really hit home for me. It made me enjoy the film even more than I would have probably if they didn't have that aspect of the film. One little tiny problem, one problem that I have with the film is the ending was pretty lackluster for me. I mean, the final battle is, you know, it's the final battle. I just felt like the final battle was a little underwhelming for me. I didn't even know, honestly, that it was finished. I was like, oh, he's defeated, it's done, okay. It would have been a lot more exciting, but other than that, the film in itself, overall, it was amazing. Fun film to watch. I think it's great you have this in between all the serious, crazy stuff happening with, you know, the Avengers films. A lot of the films are going to be dark. You have Spider-Man in between all of that. Is just like, fun film was something that was very refreshing for me. There are a couple of cameos in the film that y'all will enjoy. It's just an exciting movie, y'all. Go watch Spider-Man. Just go do it. Overall, I give Spider-Man an 8 out of 10. I want to know what y'all think about the movie. Have you seen Spider-Man Homecoming yet? What did you think of the movie? Be sure to leave a comment below and avoid spoilers, please, for those who have not seen the film yet. Our social media links will be in the description below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, y'all. And I will see you on the next video.